All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. More than a babysitting. So, this goal is you be able to understand your role as a professional and express yourself as one. The objectives are for you to understand the importance of professionalism and its implication on children's development to help foster meaningful experiences for the infants and toddlers in your care. Excuse me. Describe characteristics and disposition of effective professional staff members. Explore experiences and activities that lead to professional growth. Discuss the importance of being an ethical staff member and reflect on the importance of nurturing your sense of professionalism. So we're going to talk about self-reflection. I want you to think for a minute and think about the word professionalism when it comes to your mind. You don't have to write them down unless you want to. So we're going to give you a few seconds to think about professionalism, and everybody's going to have to tell me what comes to their mind when they hear professionalism. So it's up to you if you go ahead and go first or I call you out.
Dibs on first.
If you're ready, go ahead.
All right, I start talking first.
Professionalism.
What comes to mind for me for professionalism, and I'm only going to say one thing, that way other people can have it, is the way you present yourself. Like talking professional, you know, just how you carry yourself.
Okay, how you carry yourself, okay?
Oh, sorry. I was almost muted and I forgot to go beside me. Somebody else is unmuted and after. Okay, Melissa's next.
Don't let them bully you, Caitlin.
We love you, boo. But what comes to mind for me is something I definitely need to work on, because I give everyone me, except for like the kids. Obviously, you know what I mean. I'm not inappropriate to like parents or stuff like that, but like definitely something I need to work on. You know, because people in Child Care Central doesn't need to know that I'm crazy.
I hadn't told them yet.
You haven't told them yet? Okay, good. So I still have a chance.
You were supposed to tell what comes to mind when you hear the word professionalism.
That, something I'm not, yeah.
Oh, okay. That you're not professional.
That's what comes to mind, is that I need to work on.
This is self-reflection. We got to figure out what it is.
Can I mute down?
Yes, you can. So what was that, self-care? Oh.
But turn your mic back off. There we go. Now my mind.
Somebody still have theirs on in where, okay.
Oh, are we good?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, I agree with Kaylee, you know, the way you act. Also, dress is a good one, too. You don't want to come in like booty shorts and a crop top or something. For here, obviously, our mandatory is scrubs, but if it weren't, then like a t-shirt that's not derogatory and pants that aren't hanging off, you know.
Yeah. Okay, who's next? Miss Jan, I see you looking at me on my screen, so.
First thing I think about when I hear about professionalism is personal accountability.
Okay.
I kind of think, would I want to see this person or talk to this person? When I think about my own professionalism, and I try to go with that, because people are very serious about their children, and they don't want to see some kind of weird looking person with, like Kat said, strange clothes. And I definitely Miss Diana would not let us through the door. We came in with booty shorts.
Exactly. Yeah. about would I leave my child with me? Okay. Miss Emily?
I would say you need to be very well mannered. You need to be able to be obviously respectful to parents and people, that are higher than you and stuff like that, and even people that you work with on a daily basis. You need to like be a good human.
Yeah.
You need to be nice and kind and respectful, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Miss Elizabeth?
All right, Miss Elizabeth, go ahead.
In my opinion, I don't even know what professionalism means to a job. I've seen that pop up more than once, so I have nothing to say. All right.
She
She's
said she don't have
learning.
anything to say.
She's learning. She doesn't really know what the word means to her
What a job.
because she's seen it popped up many times. So she's just learning.
Okay. That's what we're here, like I keep saying, that's what we're here for, to learn. And do y'all think y'all are professionals, or do you consider yourself a babysitter?
I have no idea.
When it comes to being here, yes, I consider myself a professional. No, I do not consider myself a babysitter because I'm not in my house. Like being a babysitter, you're more just letting them play. Here we're learning. Every interaction we have in the classroom, we are learning something. Oh, you picked up this block. What color is it? What shape is it? Is it soft? Is it kind of squishy? Does it make a sound when you hit it on the table or the floor?
Yeah, and we're making connections to
We're
children,
tuning in.
and we're not just watching them and letting them do their own thing. We're actually building a foundation for children, and I'm growing a lot in this process myself too. So
That's a part of professionalism, growing it yourself. Yes, you are the title of the training more than a babysitter, because there are some parents and other people that do not have children in childcare that consider you a babysitter. Like, I'm taking them to the babysitter. And you cannot let that offend you, as it should, but you can't let it get to you as well, because you are more than a babysitter. You do make those connections. You are a professional, and how you carry yourself says a lot about you. As y'all were saying, how your mannerism, your dress, how you talk with your parents, and also what you think of yourself. If you don't think of yourself as a professional, why should anybody else see you like that? That's what you have to think about. And Miss Elizabeth, we're going to get you there about the end of this next hour about the professional, okay? So working with children and youth requires a commitment to providing the very best care and education. In your daily work, you assume significant roles that greatly affect children, youth, and their families. Therefore, it is critical that you strive for excellence. During this training, you will learn about professionalism and its significance to the field of child and youth care. So we talked about what comes to mind when you hear the word professionalism. Now, what is a professional? We want to give a shot at that.
I have to take one out. It's not just, I mean, we're just, being a professional isn't just knowing how to do your job and do it right. It's how you present yourself during your job. Not just being a babysitter and, oh yeah, the kid's over there playing while I'm talking to my friend about what Stevie did last night at the party or something.
Exactly. It's how you carry yourself. And as Melissa said earlier, grow. She said she's still growing. That's what it's all about. You don't get because let's say y'all getting your CDAs. Go ahead, Kaylee.
I was going to wait till you was done, but I was just going to say also being willing to learn, being willing to know, I need to step back and let someone show me how to do this better, because obviously it's not working for me. So you just got to be willing to learn something new and willing to listen.
The willingness, that's where I was going with it exactly. We got to have that willpower. We don't know it all. There's somebody that's going to know this, you going to know that. Y'all come together so y'all can know this and that. So we got to be able to learn, we got to be able to grow and learn from others. Oh, yeah. Okay. An early childhood professional is someone who has the personal characteristic, knowledge, and skills necessary to provide programs that facilitate children's learning. This seems like a simplistic definition, but what we do, while it's difficult, is also quite simple. We are facilitators of an environment that allows children to learn and grow, to be safe, and to gather skills and acquire the abilities that they're going to need for later success. So we're growing ourselves and we're helping our kids that's in our care grow just as well. So an early childhood professional is someone who promotes high standards for themselves and make sure that they're doing absolutely the best that they can do for the young children. They hold their colleagues to a high standard as well as their students. And it's important that you hold yourself and other colleagues to high standard because that's what our children deserve. An early childhood professional also someone who's continuously improving. Hence, you're going through this training this week. I think I had training all week. So you're improving, and those who've been on Child Care Central trainings, that's showing improvement. Because some of you could have just stopped at getting your training hours for your CDA, but you didn't. So you got to learn, got to keep growing. That's what I've been a professional about, not thinking, okay, I got this, I don't need nothing else. You got to keep going and keep going. Because with early childhood, it's ever changing. There's something new every day that's out there when it pertains to early childhood education. So we have to be willing, as y'all said, to learn. We're always trying to expand our knowledge base and to own our skills and abilities. An early childhood professional is someone who finds answers when they are unsure about something. We call upon our resource to figure out the answer so that we can make sure that we're doing our absolute best for our children. We don't know the answer. It's okay. Find it. Find someone who does. We don't have to have all the answers. We just got to be able to find it and see what we can do about it. So how early child professionals are viewed by society relates to many factors. One, which is how we present ourselves. And in order to be viewed as professional, we must act as professionals. You can't say I'm a professional in my field when you don't act like it. Like Caitlin was saying, you come in with your booty shorts on. No, is that acting as a professional? No, because you got to think, would I leave my child with somebody that has on booty shorts? No, that may be something you want to wear on the weekend when you're hanging out with your friends or what have you, but that is not something presentable that you want to wear to childcare or anywhere professional. So you have to act the part as well if you want to play the part. For many years, much of the general public has viewed early care education providers as babysitters. That's what I was telling you earlier. To counter that thinking, the field of early care education through several professional organizations has developed professional standards that describe the competencies needed to be an early care and education professional. These competencies include professionalism, interacting with children, families, and colleagues must always be done in a professional manner. Whether you're an infant and toddler, preschool, or school-age staff member, it is critical to be knowledgeable about and model professional behavior. Because you think you're working with babies, you don't have to present yourself as such, but you do because you're leaving that pressure on that baby that's going to carry them throughout their lives. So families rely upon the program staff to be much more than babysitters for their children. In your daily work, you make conscious, intentional decisions about how to interact with children, parents, and colleagues. You may also be faced with difficult ethical situations. Professional organizations that work on behalf of children, families, caregivers, and teachers, and youth development workers have created standards and companies to guide child and youth professionals. Each professional organization includes standards that address professional behaviors. Professional organizations rely on research-based principles and bring together highly respected experts to draft and verify the standards and competencies for the field. Infant, toddler, preschool, and school-age providers play powerful roles in children's lives, and your encounters with children and their families leave lasting impressions. What do y'all think about that statement? About your interaction with your families leave a lasting impression?
Is it okay for me to answer, or do I need to wait? Okay. I was just like, okay. So you said, what did you say again? I'm sorry. I just lost my whole train.
So quick to answer.
I derailed. You said, what does it mean?
About your encounter with your family leaving a lasting impression on them. What are your thoughts?
I mean, I'm going to use Miss Diana as an example, because I've known her for quite a number of years. And we'll be out and about, and she'll see a parent that she's known from their kids being in her class, and they're like, "You're Miss Diana." And they'll go, "Do you remember her?" "Yeah, that's Miss Diana. She was my daycare teacher. I remember her." And it's just, I want to have that impact. I want, like, I'm not going to say how many years, like, we're say 10 years down the road, because I know Miss Diana's had some that are graduating. But
Well, you basically just said the years then.
well, I didn't say any
You
beyond
see what
that.
she did, Diana?
Shut up. I didn't say any behind that. But I'm just saying, 10 years down the road, I want to be in Walmart and Camille see me and be like, "That's Miss Kaylee. I remember you because you paid attention and you gave me extra love." Or, you know, whatever it may be, I want to make that positive impact. I definitely don't want a negative impact.
And
I want them to be a happy place.
I ran across one of my ex-students, and he kept looking at me. You know, I spoke to him, like, he don't remember me. And I went up there and spoke to his parents. He's like, "Hey." I was like, "You remember me?" "Yep. You used to be my teacher when I was in preschool." I was like, "Oh, I didn't think you remember me." Because he kept looking at me like, you know, like, I'm going to speak to him. That's all I was going to do. I wasn't going to bother him because, like, he don't remember me. But, yeah, it does something to you when they remember you. Even like now, I have some, as you're talking about 10 years, they, let's see, 24, some of my first set of kids, and we still talk. I even have one now that's a daycare teacher, and she does trainings around here with me. So it's like, I felt kind of funny, but she's like, "Hey, Miss Scales." I was like, "You remember me after all these years?" And she's 21 or 22, and she still did. And so, yeah, it makes a difference how you leave and how the kids see you. And you will get that. You keep teaching them. You keep being that sweet person in the classroom. You'll get it.
Don't worry, they're not going to forget none of those teachers.
I don't know.
Hey, Miss Lisa.
That was going for y'all today. How about that?
I hope that's a good thing, Miss
I know, I was
Lisa.
thinking the same thing.
That is
It's
a
gonna
good
be
thing
good
because
today.
you
How
all are
about
great
that?
teachers. They're going to be saying, "Hey, Miss Kay. Hey, Miss Melissa. Hey, Miss Emily." They're going to always remember you all, I promise you.
Children's growth takes place over time, and each experience affects development. Who children become has everything to do with the experience they have early in their lives, their experiences they have while they're in your care. So we got to make sure that we give them attention, because like we've always said before, other trainings and in life, you don't know what Johnny had went through before he got to school that morning. It may have been a 10, 15-minute ride, 30-minute ride. We have to take that into account. When he come in, we need to show him love. He may not have gotten that last night. He may not have gotten it this morning. They may have an argument about what color sock he gonna put on. That put him in a bad mood. But when he come into that classroom, you need to be able, "Hey, Johnny," bring him in, love him. Show him that it don't matter what color socks he got on today, he matters. That's what we got to put in our kids these days, because they're gonna need it, especially now with this COVID and everybody being isolated from everybody. So you have to make sure you just show that love. Outside their families, you might be the person they spend the most time with during these critical years of development. Optimal development is strengthened when children engage in meaningful interaction with adults who adhere to high quality professional standards. And we know sometimes kids are with us 10, 12 hours a day. So yes, they spend more time at school than they do at home. And it shouldn't be like that, but it's 2020. Parents have to work. Those who don't, kudos to them. Even now, I can't be one of those parents that can't work, but we have to make sure we show them that love just as well as the love they would get at home. As an individual working with children, youth, and families, you engage in numerous activities that require you to maintain high-quality professional standards. Think about some of the experiences you participate in your daily professional life. like interact with children and youth, engaging with family members, interacting with supervisors and managers, collaborating with fellow staff members, and interacting with community partners. All this plays a part of your professionalism. It don't just stop in the classroom. It don't just stop with your parents when they come in the door and drop them off. It don't just stop with your kids. It goes further than that. Like you were saying, Kayla, in Walmart, you see little Johnny coming. Little Johnny, I got on your last nerve day, but when little Johnny see in Walmart and acknowledge you, you better acknowledge little Johnny back. Because that's how it needs to work. Because you may be the one that brightened his day. You never know.
I know we're not supposed to technically say names, so I won't. But this one particular child in my class makes me want to pull my hair out. But I saw this child in Walmart like 3 weeks ago, and the excitement and joy on this kid's face for seeing me outside of the classroom, I'm like, it made me realize, okay, even though we butt heads constantly, and I'm constantly redirecting, maybe I am doing something right. Maybe I am that positive.
And those be the ones that gravitate to you more and that you need to gravitate to just as much. Because they're missing some. They're not acting out just to be acting out, whether we want to believe that or not. But there's some reason. And we got to find that reason. That means giving Johnny a hug every day, 4 or 5 times in 1 hour. Do it. He may need it. It's going to make your day better because sooner or later, Johnny going to come in, smiling, waving, sit on down. You be like, ooh, what that got into him? Those are days you live.
Let me check your temperature. Are you okay today?
And we live for those Walmart days just as well. Because it's the highlight of their day. Because like I keep saying, we never know what's going on in their lives. Even though they're 2 and 3 years old, we don't know. So establish and maintain a high quality professional standards are important to every task you accomplish every day. This process continues to evolve and develop as you encounter new situations. So you're learning every day. As a direct care staff member, you are likely to encounter children, families, and coworkers from a variety of background and life experiences. It's important for you to understand the significance of always striving for high quality practice while acknowledging diversity and individual differences. That's where we have to come in at. We got to understand you may be able to handle something better than the next one. You can't expect for me to handle it the same way you do and vice versa. We got to understand there's differences. We're all not going to react the same. We have to keep that in our mind. And that goes for our children. Little Johnny probably could have handled falling off that swing, but Susie, no, or vice versa. Because one jumped up, ready to go, and didn't care about their knee being straight. The next child's not going to be like that, even with your siblings. You have siblings in your classroom. Susie may be okay with falling off the tricycle. Judy may not. So you have to make sure, because they come from the same household, don't mean they're going to react the same way. And we have to understand that differences in our coworkers and in our children and families as well. A colleague or family member may not share the same values with you when it comes to topics such as sleeping, toilet training, or completing work independently. As a direct care staff member, you will need to be able to provide children, youth, and the families with culturally and developmentally sensitive care and help them be successful in the classroom now and in the years ahead. So, this quote right here says, your beliefs become your thoughts become your words become your actions become your habits become your values, and your values become your destiny. By Mahatma Gandhi, who's an Indian political and spiritual leader. So I'm gonna let you ponder on that quote for a second. And I don't know if everybody else is with me, so everybody's gonna ponder that quote and give me their thoughts on it. So I'm gonna give you a few seconds or so to read it and process it. And Miss Caitlin beating y'all bullets now. She ain't gonna be told what to do.
It's just basically saying if you think negatively, negative things are going to happen. If you think positively, positive things will happen. And that's one giant thing I am working on.
Yes, being positive. Like I tell folks all the time, we complain. I'm gonna use myself because I complained about my highlight bill this summer, especially this month. It was more than I expected to be. And I tell some of my family members, like, we can't always like, oh, I gotta pay this highlight bill. We gotta be able to pay. I can pay my light bill. You got some people that can't, so we got to keep that positivity in us. That's the only way you're gonna get through it, because you got some that won't be able to pay their light bill that's on the verge of getting cut off. And like I said, I use the light bill all the time because that's one of my highest utilities for the summer. So yeah, keep positivity. We got to keep it, especially these times now.
One thing that just comes out for me is when I read this, it kind of goes to just being in tune with yourself and in tune with the kids.
Okay.
I think that makes sense.
There's no right or wrong answer. This is your thoughts.
You got a thought? Did it hurt?
You don't have to have a thought.
So my thought, you guys are going to hate me for my thought, like seriously, because I was discussing it with her. Wouldn't your thoughts come before your beliefs? But like, you know, I'm weird and OCD. I'm over here reading this thing, you know.
Let's just become your thoughts.
But wouldn't it start off with your thoughts become your beliefs? See, I didn't make it past that first sentence. I'm sorry.
I'm going to mute her now.
No, she's fine. These are her thoughts. We got to agree to disagree. That's what's wrong with the world now. We don't want to hear what we don't want to hear. It's like, because it says beliefs become your thoughts, we look at it as that. But she's gonna be that one to question it, and that's fine. We got
but like, I'm not questioning it. I was just questioning the order. But that is true, because me, Emily, and you were talking. Emily, you and I.
Yeah,
sorry, Emily. Yeah,
there.
she was. We were talking about this because I think about how I can't do anything right. So then I think about that, and I think about that. Then I believe it. Then I say it out loud, then I act like that. And over time, I turn into somebody who can't function because I thought I couldn't function. Like, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I've been around you long enough to know, yeah. Because I said, like, earlier when you was getting frustrated about logging on, like, no, calm down.
I'm very high strung. There we go. Very high strung.
So maybe you need to believe that you can and think it. Maybe follow that sentence where you believe it and then think it. How about that?
Believe that I can.
I understand where you're going. You think it and you're going to believe it. So maybe I'm going to try to believe that you can do it, then think that you can do it, then you're doing it.
And then I got it.
You got this, girl. You got this. That's what we tell you all the time. Ain't it, Emily?
I believe it. I know. I just gotta believe it. It's in my own. I gotta work on it.
It's in your mind. It's there. You gotta bring it out.
Yeah, I do.
I mean, I'm the exact same way. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. You should get.
Sorry.
Who's the exact same way?
I am. And
are you?
Oh God, my friends are always like, Kat, stop. And I'm like,
I've been around you enough, like I've been around them to know them.
You're gonna find out that Melissa and I have a lot in common.
Are y'all in the same room?
No. I'm in Emily's right now,
okay.
But I'm in Emily's classroom.
Okay, as long as y'all not in the same room, I can deal with y'all on two separate classrooms, but the same room. No. All right, Emily. Did we lose her?
No, sorry, I couldn't find my little mute button. So basically, I'm along with Melissa. Is that what I was going to tell her? Is that you have to think back to your raising and how people will say all the time, well, I'm like this because I was raised like that. But people don't want to accept the fact that they can actually change that. And just because you were raised in a divorced family doesn't mean that you have to grow up and have a divorced family, essentially. And you don't have to bring those concepts with you. So whereas you were young and you thought that's how basically your beliefs were that this is what life is, this is what marriage is, and you've seen your parents fight or anything like that all the time, like you think that's normal. Well, you grow up and get in a relationship yourself, you automatically think that's normal. So you basically have to like retrain yourself in order to say no, fighting and arguing all the time is not normal for a relationship, and doing it in front of your kids is not normal for a relationship. And so when you kind of have to just tell yourself, when you hear that little voice inside of your head saying, oh, it's normal that we're arguing, it's normal that we're fighting, you know, stuff like that, you gotta train yourself to think, no, it's really not normal. Like, yeah, it's normal to have an open discussion, but it's not normal to be screaming at each other or anything like that. Like, you can reprogram your brain to think, you know, the new normal in a sense.
Yeah, me and one of my friends had this exact conversation about that. That's how I was brought up, but no, we can't use that as an excuse anymore, because we can change. And with these younger kids that we bring up, with our own, we're gonna have to make that change. We gotta let them know, because, like you said, because you see mom and daddy do this, don't mean when you get older that you have to do this. You can be that change that you want to see. Exactly. Miss Janet, I don't know if I'm able to hear you. We can try.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Basically, I follow along the same lines as Emily. I was going to say something to that effect, but I agree with what she said. You don't have to be what you experience. You can change it yourself.
It cut out real bad, but she said she agreed
I
with
see.
Emily.
She was following along with Emily and saying you don't have
Yeah.
to be what you see. Okay, Elizabeth.
She
I don't even know what to say.
She doesn't really know what to say.
No.
We got to bring in Elizabeth. What you think? Read the quote for me. What you think about it? What are your thoughts? This is something that you think about it.
Oh, I do know what I'm thinking. Hold on. I do know that. Yeah. What you think and then say and do in action. Children are always watching you, and they will copy exactly what you do, and you realize how wrong that was. So you have to be careful what you do, say, and think.
You just have to be present in the moment. Is that what you're trying to say?
And very
Maybe.
tactful and mindful.
You know what it is.
Miss Elizabeth, the group you working with, you're gonna have to come out that shell.
She's got me and Alicia, and I can't figure out how to get her to. But she's amazing with the kids in the classroom.
Yes,
I promise she
so
sings and dances.
amazing.
But I guess live trainings
You
aren't.
got to come out.
I do not like talking on Zoom.
This crew, you got to come out that shell.
I'm on show so much over the years. You wouldn't believe it.
Have y'all met in person?
No.
No? Then that could be
Okay,
why.
you're getting conflicting information because Miss Sarita says she has met you.
I dropped her books off
Yes,
her
I
the
met
first
her.
time.
Oh, okay, that's what we just said.
Yeah.
Oh, I
Okay.
thought you were someone else.
No, Miss Sarita, the one who's talking.
Oh,
That's who
I'm
you're talking
sorry.
to. Ignore
Hey,
everybody else.
She fine.
I'm not. I can't even use my microphone on my computer. So that's the problem.
It's okay. All righty. Thank y'all for your thoughts. That one as bad as y'all thought it was going to be. So we got to talk about developing your sense of professionalism. Developing your sense of professionalism does not happen overnight. On the contrary, it is a process that involves a wide range of experiences. Just like when you're learning a new skill, you have to invest time and effort in getting information, practicing new things, and interacting with other individuals. Nurturing your professionalism requires ongoing work, energy, and commitment. As you think about developing your sense of professionalism, remember that each staff member is an individual. In your daily interaction with children, youth, the families, and the colleagues, you always bring who you are, your interests, your personality, your temperament, your background experiences, and your special abilities and talents. Professionals deal directly with children, and their families have a special obligation to behave in ways that benefit those they serve. Some values that are foundation to professions based on human relations are caring, compassion, empathy, respect for others, and trustworthiness. Effective professional staff members, above all, are dedicated to serving the needs of children, youth, and families they work with. Essential elements of professional behavior include knowledge and skills about a field, communication and relationship skills, work ethic, and professional ethics. Each of these elements we're going to discuss in a little bit. So we're going to talk about knowledge and skills. Staff member who wants to behave in a professional manner must acquire the skills and knowledge needed to work with children, youth, and families. To understand the children and child development are absolutely essential in your role as an infant, toddler, preschool, or a school-age professional. So, with that being said, you got to be willing, like I was telling you earlier, be willing to learn. Be willing to go above and beyond. Because DHR said you got to have these so many hours a year. Don't just stick to those hours that they require. Do more, learn more. That's how you grow as a professional. Just like with us in our field, we have to do extra trainings. We have to learn, and that's what you have to do. You want to grow and get those skills. It's going to help you in the long run. You're going to help the children in your care and the ones to come. So we don't want to just put them out there to the world because we just thought I need these so many hours. That's all I got, because that's what they require. You need to go above and beyond. Along with child development, knowledge about topics such as safe environments, learning environments, health environments, positive guidance, child abuse, and family engagement will strengthen your competence and enable you to positively affect the lives of children, youth, and families you engage with. Optimal development is achieved when children and youth are healthy, emotional, secure, and socially connected. So communication and relationships. An important aspect of your work as a direct care staff member are the relationship you create and nurture with children, youth, families, and colleagues. Establishing these relationships can make or break your experience. Collaborate with others is a big part of your work, and whether you are brand new or a seasoned staff member, your success and effectiveness hugely depend on how well you work with others. And I'm thinking, from what I've seen and been working with y'all over the last year, y'all have a good work relationship. I've noticed, I've seen that. It may be a love-hate sometimes, but you have one. And that's what you need in this field. You got to be able to get along with everybody. You're not going to agree every day. You're not going to agree 100%. You're going to have this thought. They're going to have that thought. And guess what? That is okay. We have to learn to agree to disagree. So we got to make sure, and you got to talk about things. Just don't sit there and assume, okay, because like I said, I'm going to keep using Kaylee and Melissa. They keep being right here on my screen for some reason, and they're together. So I'm going to keep using them. So don't think I'm picking on y'all.
It's okay. I accept it. I accept it.
So like Kaylee can expect, because Melissa said, I'm going to do this today. And she expect Melissa to do it, but it slipped Melissa's mind because something else is going on. You have to talk, okay, like we was talking about with Dominique, that scenario in the other training. You have to talk. What's going on, Melissa? You forgot to do this? She's like, oh yeah, okay. You have time, there's something going on, you got to be able to communicate, you got to understand. You know, just don't assume that's her job, she needs to do it. That's not how it needs to work.
We constantly are reminding each other through the classrooms every day. Okay, hey, remember it's your day for lunch. It's your day, you know. Don't forget the dishes. Oh my gosh, we forgot laundry. You know, we always try to make sure that, because we've learned from the past that it's easier to just be annoying little, hey, let's do this. Hey, let's do this. Do this. You know, get it out. Because if you assume that somebody else is going to do it, it's probably not going to get done because they're just as forgetful as we are.
It's kind of like a marriage too. Okay. Yeah. I've noticed it's kind of like a marriage with all of us. We all have to communicate, give and take. We've really got to get ourselves in each other's heads and feelings and understanding how they work too, so we can know how to be the best us in front of the kids, basically.
Exactly, especially when you're the teacher, you're in one classroom. I think y'all have at least 3 in the classroom. Yeah, so 3 in the classroom, you got to make sure that all 3 of you not going to be able to do paperwork. Somebody's going to be weak in paperwork. Somebody's going to be stronger. Somebody's going to be better at doing the activity with the kids. Somebody isn't. You have to figure that out and work with it. Like when I was in the classroom with one of my assistants, I didn't mind doing paperwork. I didn't mind doing bulletin board, but her thing was she did not want to do bulletin board. She did not want to get the crafts or whatever we had together. She didn't mind doing it. She just wanted to get together. So we compromised. I was like, well, I will do this and you do that. And it worked for us. It's like, okay, you handle the paperwork and I handle the classroom aspect. You have to work with each other. Don't think that I'm doing more than she doing or she doing more. We have to work together. If it's going to be cohesive and make the classroom flow, fine. Like I said, she didn't mind doing paperwork. I didn't mind it, but I really didn't like it, but I knew that was my job. But since she said she would rather do that if I take over the classroom, then it worked for us. But we still come around and done each other's job as well. So you got to find that cohesion, what works for you in your classroom and figure it out. Whether you're engaging with children, the families, the colleagues, the supervisor, nurturing those relationships early on is critical to your success. And while working with others may present difficulties or challenges, it is your responsibility to maintain professional conduct and seek the advice of your trainer, your coach, or your manager when faced with situations you are not sure how to deal with. And it is okay if you got a problem. It's okay to go to Miss Diana, Miss Lisa, to ask them, what do I need to do about this? Because it may be something that you can't talk with your teacher in that classroom about. It may be something that's just going to blow over and make too much out of it. It's okay to step out your classroom and go to your directors. There's nothing wrong with that. And y'all can work together to find that common ground. They may need to be that mediator so things won't get out of hand. And y'all just may need that. You may need to get your side, they get their side, and then you come to a common medium with that. So don't think you cannot seek help. That's what we're here for, and your directors. So your work ethic. Who here believes to have a good work ethic? Just by show of hands, I'm gonna go through here. Keep your hands up. Let's see. Okay.
What is that?
Apparently, I missed the whole question. I was watching the whole time.
Who believes to have a good work ethic? You just raise your hand. I'm going through my video to see. Okay. Where you at, Miss Elizabeth? I don't see you. Okay. And that's what we need. Okay, I got everybody now. Thank you. So that's what we need, good work ethics. So working with children, the families is one of the most rewarding and at the same time challenging endeavors. It requires dedication, commitment, problem-solving skills, and a willingness, there go that word again, to learn, change, and be flexible in order to address the multiple and often complex needs of those in your care. Moral, ethical behavior. Your commitment is to carry yourself with integrity in your daily interaction with the children, the families, and your colleagues. Maintaining confidentiality is a crucial part of professionalism. You should also be very careful about how you handle social networking. As a direct care staff member, you should respect and protect the privacy of all children and families in your program. And I should have noted on that, not just your children, your family, but also your coworkers and yourself. So we gotta make sure we have that confidentiality. So what does confidentiality mean?
Between you and the person that it happened with. I'm sorry. I should have given someone else a chance to talk. My bad.
You were like, Broop.
It just is a course of habit. Okay.
My hand was like halfway there. I was like,
But I'm sorry.
You're fine.
I'll do better.
Between you and the person, okay? Somebody else?
Look, we come from these trainings on Zoom, Kaylee and I, where if you're not the first person to say something,
Right.
you don't get a chance to say anything.
And you don't win that prize.
So we're always like, get that button. Say something first.
Look at her. She says she can't.
And Emily, I'm gonna need you to start hitting your button so that I have some competition.
I know you're.
Excuse me, no, I'm kind of relaxing and letting everybody else have another time. Okay?
Beat Kaylee. Every time I try to speak, she mutes it.
It's back to that married relationship.
Don't tell your husband though.
He knows. I'm gonna mute this now.
Confidentiality mean different things in your personal and professional lives. Oh, let's go back for a minute about confidentiality. You said between you and that person. So are you talking about personal?
Oh, you're talking to me now. Okay.
Yes,
No,
ma'am.
I mean, like,
Look, I'm looking at you, and I know you can't tell I'm looking at you. I'm sorry.
all right, I'm looking at you too, but you can't tell I'm looking at you. Okay, so, no, for me, it means like, okay, let's say little Johnny has something going on in the classroom, and he gets injured. It's between me, little Johnny, and the director. Like, we don't have to
And
open.
Johnny's mom.
Oh yeah, that too. But we don't have to have an open conversation with all 9 teachers about what happened. Or if something's going on at home, it's between me and my husband, and I don't need to bring it to work. And obviously, if there's something going on between me and Melissa, I need to keep it between me and Melissa. So, you know,
I'll tell all of you guys though.
I'm gonna have to get some duct tape.
Okay. Anybody else want to chime in on confidentiality? What it means?
I mean, no, you already knew.
Oh, I'm sorry. I hit a button, and I can't. Okay. Whew, that was almost.
I mean, that she went over pretty much all the basics. Just keeping like your private life private, or with just one person, like if it involves them, and then keeping your professional life
I lost you, Miss
professional.
Caitlin.
Do what?
I said I had lost you for a minute.
Oh, what was the last thing you heard?
Personal life, personal life.
Yeah, and then like professional, keep it, professional.
Okay. So keep right there and let you answer this one. So does it mean different things in your personal and professional lives? But does confidentiality mean the same in your personal life as it is in professional life?
Yeah. Because I mean, like she was saying, something between her and her husband, and then something between her and Melissa here at work or something. Confidentiality is confidentiality. Period.
Yes, ma'am. Kaylee.
Before I say anything, does anybody else want to add anything? Okay. But it could be something different, because with the confidentiality, maybe I'm going too deep into this, maybe I'm not, but we are mandated reporters. So therefore, when it comes to that, we keep it to ourselves. We don't talk about it amongst the staff, but we have to share it. Is that too deep into this?
We do have to be transparent with our director too. Is that what you were trying to
What you
get
mean
at?
by that?
Like with ourselves, if we're gonna be out because there's a medical problem with us, but we're gonna be out for a while, or if someone's pregnant and there's only so much that they can do, or limited, or something like that.
Well, Miss Dinah should probably know what's going on.
That's what I'm
medically.
saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
But Kat over there
let's say
doesn't have to know if you don't want her to know.
Let's use the crazy thing. Yes, you pregnant and you on the limit to such and such duties. Then yes, Miss Diana will be the one to know. But it's up to you if you want to share that with the others in your classroom or the center. So yes, okay. Are there any guidelines and expectations about confidentiality at your center? What are your rules, regulation, policy, procedures for confidentiality? Explain to me. I see you. Hold on. Miss Elizabeth, do you know, or are you still learning that part? Kayla, I need you to
Hold on. I thought I fixed her computer, but it didn't work.
Wait.
Go.
Hold on.
Just say it.
Hey, just say it right here.
She says she's still learning.
You got this.
Yeah, and I don't know what that means for work.
Confidential means like not.
Does that mean you have to
Telling
come
us.
in with a great attitude and not a sour first attitude?
Well,
Well, that
but
too,
that's not
but-
this. But yeah.
Yeah, no, it means if something happened here and say someone in this class got hurt, you're not gonna go run and tell every single person in the building about it and details. Like you're not telling people's business. Basically.
Hey, Miss Diana, could you share exactly what the answer to the question is? If you're even on here still.
You're muted, Miss Diana. Look. I see your
Okay,
lips moving.
I thought I had unmuted. It's basically what she said. It's just keeping things confidential within your classroom, within this center. Not going out and eating supper and sit there and talk about, well, do you know, little Johnny today was horrible. His mom needs to do something with him. He punched somebody in the face. You don't know if little Johnny, grandma's sitting right behind you.
Exactly.
You're not to discuss those things. Anything that goes on in this daycare should stay in.
People
Talk about different situations. I know we've got some children in the building now with some real sensitive situation, and you don't want to hear it talked about, because one thing, the children don't need to hear it being talked about, and two, that's not our business to spread. But you just need to be clear that you don't talk about daycare things outside of daycare, because it is like a confidentiality thing. And a lot of our kids are foster kids for one reason or another, and nobody needs to know that.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for explaining that to them. And think about the saying they say, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. What happened at Kids First, stay at Kids First. That's how you can look at it. Whatever Ms. Diana about Johnny, guess what? She told you that's your child in that classroom and she felt like you needed to know. So that's between the parent, you, and her. You got something, Miss Caitlin?
I was just about to say basically the same thing, kind of like a doctor-patient confidentiality. I can't talk. That one.
Exactly. We have to be mindful, even with our own selves, about saying things about our own selves that we probably shouldn't let everyone know. We got to think about confidentiality. There I go. Confidentiality within ourselves as well, not just among everybody. We got to think about, okay, because you got something going on at home that may be public knowledge and it may not be, it don't mean you need to bring it to the center. We got to think of that as well. You don't need to tell your business as well. You don't need to tell everybody else's business. And then Ms. Diana told y'all about y'all expectations for confidentiality at your center. So Ms. Diana, if they don't know, I'm gonna ask them first. If they don't hit it on the head, maybe you can chime in. So what is the protocol at your school if a student discloses information or if you are concerned about a student's overall well-being or risk of harm? Do anybody know that? You can chime in.
I don't know the exact protocol, but I would assume that if little Johnny told me that his mom smacked him across the face last night, I'm going to be concerned and I'm going to go to Miss Diana and be like, hey, he told me this. We should probably look into that. I'm not going to go like tell Janet and Melissa and everybody, but I'm definitely going to go to Diana.
Okay. Anybody else have any thoughts on that one?
Could you just, for my personal self, could you repeat the question?
Okay, what is the
Which
protocol
one
if
is
a
it?
student?
Okay. I didn't see I was confused on which one it was. It's the bottom one?
Yes.
Yeah.
That just goes back to being mandated reporters. If we feel and in the health and safety training that we just did, you don't have to have certainty on if it's happening. If you suspect it, you need to tell, because then that leaves it for DHR to do their investigation on if it's happening and not.
Exactly.
No, I was gonna say something, but like this isn't obvious. Like obviously, if little Johnny's like, my mom threw me off a volcano last night, like obviously,
I guess you got to use your own judgment
that didn't happen.
on the storytelling from the Chillins. The volcano in Alabama, I want to see it.
I don't want to see it.
Yeah, we have to differentiate between the real and the fake. Of course, they come and tell you they fell off the volcano last night. You need to investigate as well, because that volcano may be something else as well. So just ask those questions, not being nosy, but engage in trying to figure out where this is going. Eventually,
Open-ended questions.
Volcano.
Asking open-ended questions.
Yes, because it might just well been a volcano that they dreamed of, or they made something at home. We never know, but yeah, have to be cautious about that. But yes, you taking your health and safety trainings, your mandated reporters, something like that goes on. Yes, you report it. You putting the child's best interest at first. Ethical practices and maintaining confidentiality. Child care programs routinely handle confidentiality information about enrolled children, families, and staff. Child care programs maintain confidentiality on a need-to-know basis. If you don't need to know, don't worry about it. This information is shared only when it is necessary. This is important, especially when there are specific health and safety concerns. Maintaining confidentiality also builds trust in child care programs. Fostering relationship with staff, children, and family is built on trust. When managing sensitive information, there's an ethical and legal responsibility to protect the privacy of individuals and the families. As a staff member working in child care and after school care setting, you may be faced with ethical situations. Being a reflective staff member who lives your core values is a critical. Being a reflective staff member who lives in your core values is a critical trait, because you work with your country's most precious citizens, which are our young children. Protecting the privacy of children and their families should always be foremost in your mind. So the National Association for the Education of Young Children, which some people pronounce as NACE, is the largest professional organization in the field of early care and education, has developed the Code of Ethical Conduct to guide professional behavior. And this is one of your handouts up under this class that you might need to download and print off and read over, something that you can go by within your classroom. Professional ethics are not something to review and then place in the drawer. They are lived every day in discussions with children, in supporting families from diverse cultures, in collaborating with fellow staff members, and in participating in community partnerships. As a direct care staff member, adhering to high quality professional standards is critical for children, youth, and families in your care. You have an obligation to act responsibly and ethical at all times. You are accountable for your actions, and maintaining high professional standards should be your priority at all times. I was telling you earlier, if you don't act the part, how can you say you are a professional? Maintaining confidentiality is a crucial part of professionalism. State and federal laws ensure and protect individuals' rights to privacy. As a direct care staff member, you should respect and protect the privacy of all children and families. When you work so close together on behalf of children and families, you may become friends with one another. You may also encounter friends and relatives of children enrolled in the center when you are out in the community. When you socialize and attend events outside the center, you may be asked confidential information about a child by someone who is not a staff member directly working with the child. You may only share confidential information about a child only with the child's family members and those professionals for whom the family members have signed a release of information form. It's just like Ms. Diana was saying earlier, you can't be somewhere eating, having dinner, and talking about little Johnny. Like she said, you know, who's sitting behind you gonna hear like, Oh, she's talking about my nephew. Let me see what's going on. Then you got problems because one, you're out talking about LeJohn, his problems at a restaurant. Two, a family have overheard. And three, they're going to confront you more than likely, and you don't want any of those problems. So you go in those doors, what happened inside those doors, stay in those doors. When you leave it inside. You don't take it with you. Acting responsibly and ethically should be at the core of your practice as a direct care staff member. In your daily interaction with children, families, and colleagues, supervisors, engage in the following. You gotta make sure you keep information about your children and families confidential. This refers to reviewing child and family records, having conversation with other staff members at school or in the community, and engaging in conversation with other people you know in the community. So whatever you know, keep it to yourself. You know, little Johnny about to be taken away, getting into foster care. That's nobody's business outside that school. When you know confidential information about a child, family, or fellow staff member, you use the information to help them, not judge them. I say, little Johnny mama come in. She talking to you that costs her light bill. She cannot pay it. This COVID-19 got a lot of parents in the bind these days. So she come to you. She telling you, she's not telling you, she's actually venting to you. I don't know what I'm going to do. My light bill is due tomorrow. I don't know where I'm going to get this money from. Instead of Caitlin going to Kay like, Kayla, guess what? Johnny mama says she can't pay her light bill. Ain't that something? No, don't take it and run with it. Take it and help. You may not tell her then, but maybe you think about, like, let's see, she can go here, she can go there. When she come pick up her child, be like, hey, you told me earlier about your situation. You go to resources, see if you can go to them and help them. So when they come to you, whether they're venting or they're actually telling you what's going on, reach out to them. Try to find ways to help them. Because they may not know that there's places out there that helps them with their electricity bill. If individual asks you for confidential information about children and families in your program, refer them to your program director. Kaylee can't come and ask Caitlin, what's going on with Johnny? You tell her, go ask Miss Diana. If she really won't know that much, she'll go ask. If not, she's going to leave it alone. And Kayla, I'm using you now because you're on my screen. So we got to treat each child, the youth, the family member with respect and knowledge and honor individual differences in terms of gender, cultural background, family income, abilities, or family composition. Get to know the children and families in your care and incorporate those interests or practices in your daily work as a direct care staff member. Plan for bias-free experiences and materials. You got to recognize, celebrate the contribution of fellow staff members in your program. We got to celebrate it. Kaylee done completed her CDA bound. Okay, we got to clap for Kaylee and help her. Then that way she's done it and we celebrated her. That means everybody else going to get celebrated when they get through. So celebrate the good things as well. We got to act in a responsible, reliable, and dependable manner. You got to be at work on time. You got to be prepared. You got to communicate clearly with your children, your families, your colleagues, and your supervisors. You got to support practices that are ethical, responsible, and development on your appropriate, and speak out when they are not. Familiarize yourself with your services, regulations, standards, and expectations for professional behavior. Remember to always look to your coach or your trainer for guidance on difficult situations. Like I said earlier, reach out. If you don't know, ask. You got to develop and cultivate a collaborative spirit as you work with your colleagues on a daily basis. Ask a more experienced fellow staff member question about her practice or offer ideas to a staff member who may be newer than you and may need assistance. So y'all help Elizabeth now. I bring out her shell.
We trying. I think she got all them books done in record time.
Oh, she did. I'm going to give that to her. She did. So, I have some toothpaste in. Y'all are probably wondering, what do that have to do with this training? Well, this toothpaste, I'm going to, if there's any left, I just found this up on the cabinet. Yeah. So, this toothpaste are secrets of your children, of your family, This the one that you're telling that she can't pay her light bill. This here got car trouble. She don't know how she's gonna pay that repairman. In my instance, I don't know how I'm gonna get that windshield fixed because it costs a lot of money. What am I gonna do? So these are all the confidentiality that you are telling. So what do this toothpaste have to do with that? I think I've put it all out there.
Turn your microphone off, Kaylee. Why is it showing me? What? Somebody's is it? I don't know whose is on. Melissa, is it yours?
Now talk. Just use mine. Just use mine. Okay, her train derailed, but she can use my microphone.
She got to talk loud because I can barely hear it through yours.
I'm thinking, I lost it. So you put it all, I noticed you were putting it all in like one pile. But once you start talking, that pile's gonna spread. So I'm sure you're gonna probably like rub the paper towel together or something to where it's everywhere. And it's just an example of spreading.
Did you hear everything she said?
Yeah, I wasn't going there, but I like that idea too.
Can I add something?
Uh-huh.
Well, never mind. I'm not going to add because I know this activity.
Okay, but leave it alone then.
Do what?
Leave it alone to see if somebody else knows. Okay. But I like that one, Kate. I never had thought about
Wait, what was the question? Because I got frustrated with the computer.
She put all the toothpaste out on a paper towel, and she was talking about how if you share what happened with little Johnny and little Susie's mama and the power bill and something about a windshield.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm gonna pay my windshield fee. That was on me. That was my secret.
Oh, so if you share in secrets, it's like she squeezed out the toothpaste.
Yeah,
the toothpaste are the secret. Confidentiality.
Okay.
So y'all probably wondering, Kaylee, tell me what you think about it since you've done it. You said you
well, once you start squeezing the toothpaste, you can't get it back in there. Yeah. Once you start sharing, you can't get it back.
Exactly. I was saying, can I take back telling you that she couldn't pay her light bill? No matter how you try, you can't take it back.
You can't get it all back in there. There's still going to be a little tidbit that's left.
But, I mean,
there's still going to be some on that paper from that toothpaste that you can't take back.
I was being a turd trying to find something wrong. Sorry.
Really?
I'm getting really restless. I'm sorry. I'm a kid.
Let me go ahead and mute.
Can we do a brain smart start real quick?
I'm at the end of mine, so give me 1 second. So yeah, that's the whole idea. When we talk, when we pull out the toothpaste, these are all the confidentiality that we'll have no more toothpaste left. But once it get out there, there's another. It sprays. So.
I heard the crumble a paper one. So that's the same thing. I get it.
Like if you wad up a paper and then you stretch it back out,
it's still
going to have the wrinkles in it, so you can't undo the damage that's done.
Exactly. That's what the toothpaste was. We got to be careful what we put out there. I just been talking about her light bill. It was not for you to go back and tell, oh, she can't pay her light bill, but she out doing this and that. We don't know what she was out there doing, why she can't pay that light bill. Okay, we're going to talk about nurturing our sense of professionalism. The field of childcare has grown tremendously over the past several years, and there's always new information and research on the significant roles adults can play in children's development. You can truly make a difference. Like I was telling you earlier, childcare, there's new information every day. We got to read up on it. We got to research it because there's going to be something today that you learn. Going to be something tomorrow. You're going to learn something different. So the more skilled, committed, and knowledgeable you become, the more effective, meaningful, and long-lasting your influence will be on children's families and their lives. As a direct care staff member, you want to practice to be continuously improving, striving to be the best that it can be for children and families. You should look forward to going to work and creating positive care environments for children and families in your care. So we can have those Walmart moments. No matter how experienced you are and how much you know, it is important to continue to pursue education and training to learn more about your field and to further grow as a professional. This is true for a number of reasons. One, because you care about your children and families. Would you want your child going to a teacher that just there, that don't care about learning, that don't care about improving, they just there to get a paycheck? So that's how we have to look at things. Would I want my child to be with someone like that? If the answer is no, that means you have to do better, because that could be you in that situation. And also, we was talking about education. So once we get these CDAs, I'm gonna give y'all a couple of months to soak that in. Then once y'all start going for your AA, don't look like that, Melissa.
Hey, listen, if I hadn't dropped the ball, I would already be starting it. But I dropped the ball. But my personal goal is December to be going to college for my AA. So
I'm gonna need my
not
kids to grow up a little
Oh.
bit so that they can help me every night with my own schoolwork.
Can I add something to something
Yes.
that you said, like way back on probably the other training? It just hit me. Shut up.
That's not nice words. Say,
Hush your
please
mouth.
be quiet.
Hush your mouth. Okay, so you talked about how we're with the kids all day long, sometimes 10, 12 hours. The other day I was driving home and I just started crying because I realized my kid is with someone else for 10 hours a day. Because my husband started working 4 10s. And I'm like, no wonder she's so clingy. Why do I get frustrated with her for being clingy when she never sees me? She's awake with someone else more than she's awake with me. And that's why these kids need us to be positive with them, because they're awake more with us than they are with their parents.
And to be loving with them. Because, I'll just stop at there and be.
And it's not
nice.
Spoiling them. It's
Yeah.
giving them that nurturing aspect that they might be missing, because they're literally only home for 4 hours and then they're going to sleep.
And like some kids don't have safe places. So like I want to be their safe place, even if it's just a couple hours a day.
I know that sort of was way back then, but it just literally was like, oh man, I want to say that and I hope it's okay to say that.
No, that's fine. It's all part about being a professional. You know what you got to give to your kids and what they need. So you got to continuous learn that allows you to recognize, evaluate, and improve your existing practices. So self-awareness enables you to acknowledge strength, talent, skills, and accomplishments. And at the same time, it helps you recognize and identify competencies or skills you need to improve. Knowing who you are as a person, as a professional, is empowering, as it enables you to engage in self-improvement and growth. You can do this by talking with colleagues and arranging to observe each other to learn more and improve each other's practice. Or you can review materials and resources that help you update with new ideas and research in your area of expertise. You should also participate in professional organization and training events and opportunities. Hence, you are here and you have done some of Child Care Central trainings. And you want to grow professionally. Being committed to ongoing learning can improve your knowledge, skills, and performance. This learning will help you gain new skills and hone existing skills, and this may come with increased confidence, more responsibility, and even a promotion. Oops. There's always new information to be learned. I keep saying, childcare changes daily. It may be one thing today, but another thing tomorrow and the next day. So it says, as long as I live, so long do I learn. So I tell everybody, as we living, we're learning. So true knowledge exists in knowing that you know nothing. All professionals need to keep up with new information, knowledge, and research in their field. As a responsible and committed professional, you have an obligation to keep up with new information and use that in your practice with children and families. So you have learned about the importance of professionalism. Working with children, youth, and their family is an important endeavor. It means that you will have young, impressionable minds watching, listening, and learning from you. It means that you will interact with family members who will be your partners throughout this process. And it means that you will work with colleagues to provide high quality care for the children and families. And while you're doing everything, you must be acting as a role model at all times. Being a positive and supportive role model will strengthen your work and will positively affect the lives of children and families you interact with.